Life will always test us with challenges, conflicts, and moments that shake our emotions. We cannot always control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. Our reaction is our true power. When we choose calm over chaos, understanding over anger, and patience over impulse, we step into real freedom. Peace is not found outside of us, it is created within us. Every time you resist the urge to lash out, every time you pause before reacting, you protect your energy. The world may try to provoke you, but your response determines whether you stay at peace or lose yourself in negativity. Remember, your reaction is your responsibility. Do not hand your peace over to people who thrive on conflict. Master your emotions, and you master your life. Control your reaction, and you own your peace. One of the greatest skills you can develop in life is the ability to pause before reacting. Most people live in an automatic cycle. Something happens, and they instantly fire back with anger, defensiveness, or frustration. But the pause is where wisdom lives. In that small moment of stillness, you gain space to think. You give yourself a chance to separate the event from your emotions. Instead of being ruled by impulse, you take control of your choices. That pause is like a shield. It protects your peace from being stolen. Think about how many regrets in life come from reacting too quickly. Words spoken in anger, decisions made in haste, actions taken without thought. They leave scars on us and on others. But a pause gives you power. It allows you to see the situation more clearly, to decide whether the battle is worth fighting or whether your silence will speak louder than any reaction. When someone tries to provoke you, when life throws frustration your way, ask yourself, will my reaction serve my peace or destroy it? If it will destroy it, stay silent, breathe, delay your response. This simple practice can transform arguments into understanding and chaos into calm. Pausing does not mean weakness. It is the ultimate strength. Anyone can explode in anger. It takes a master of self to hold back and choose peace. That single pause might be the difference between a broken relationship and a stronger one, between failure and wisdom, between regret and growth. Not every situation, not every comment, not every action deserves your reaction. In fact, one of the most powerful choices you can make for your peace is to detach from provocation. There will always be people who test you, who push your buttons, who thrive on your emotional response. They may insult you, challenge you, or deliberately try to drag you into conflict. But remember this, their behavior is a reflection of them, not of you. When you allow yourself to be provoked, you hand over your inner control. You let someone else decide how you will feel, how you will act, and how much peace you will lose. Why give that kind of power to anyone? Detachment is not about ignoring people or becoming cold. It's about refusing to let negativity dictate your state of mind. Think about the times when someone's words made you furious. Hours later, you were still replaying the moment in your head, feeling angry, restless, unable to focus. That is the cost of being provoked. You suffer while the other person has already moved on. But when you choose to detach, when you remind yourself, this is their storm, not mine, you walk away with your peace intact. So often, we spend our lives looking outward, blaming people, situations, and circumstances for our emotions. We say, they made me angry, they ruined my day, they disrespected me. But the truth is, nobody has that kind of power unless we give it to them. That is why one of the greatest lessons in protecting your peace is learning to shift your focus inward. When you stop chasing control over the outside world and start mastering the world within, everything changes. The external world will always be unpredictable. People will disappoint you, life will test you, and circumstances will shift without warning. But your inner world can remain steady if you learn to direct your focus there. Shifting inward means asking yourself, how do I want to feel right now? What response aligns with my peace? Instead of pouring your energy into fixing what others say or do, you pour that energy into building self-awareness, patience, and resilience. Because at the end of the day, you cannot rewrite someone's actions, but you can always rewrite your response. When anger rises, when stress builds, when frustration knocks at your door, turn inward, breathe, notice what's happening inside your mind and body. That awareness creates space between the situation and your reaction. And in that space, you reclaim your power. Focusing inward is not about ignoring the outside world. It's about not letting it control you. It's about realizing that peace is not handed to you by circumstances. It is created by how you interpret and respond to them. The more you practice looking inward, the less the noise of the world can disturb you. You become anchored, grounded, unshaken. Detachment means standing firm in your calmness. It's looking at provocation and deciding, I will not carry this weight. I will not fight a battle that steals my energy. Sometimes silence is the loudest answer. Sometimes walking away is the greatest strength. When you detach from provocation, you protect your mental space, you guard your emotions, and you send a clear message. My peace is not up for negotiation. Every emotion we feel, anger, joy, sadness, fear, excitement, carries a message. They are signals from within telling us that something matters, something needs attention, or something is out of alignment. But here is the danger. When we forget that emotions are just messengers, we allow them to become our masters. And when emotions take control, they can lead us to choices we regret, words we can't take back, and actions that damage our peace. Anger, for example, is not the enemy. It's a messenger warning you that a boundary has been crossed or that something feels unfair. But if you let anger become your master, it will burn everything in its path, including your relationships and your inner calm. Fear is another messenger. It tells you to be cautious, to prepare, to think. But if you let fear rule your life, it will paralyze you and keep you from moving forward. Even happiness is a messenger. It tells you when you're aligned with your values, when you're living with purpose. But if you cling to it as a master, you may struggle when life inevitably shifts. The key is to listen without surrendering. Acknowledge your emotions, but do not obey them blindly. Ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to teach me? What truth is it pointing me toward? When you see emotions as teachers rather than dictators, you gain wisdom. You learn to respond, not react. Imagine emotions as guests knocking at your door. You let them in, you listen to what they have to say, but you don't hand them the keys to your house. They can visit, but they cannot take over. This simple shift in perspective gives you freedom. You no longer fear your feelings, nor do you become enslaved by them. You use them as guidance, as information, but you remain the one in control. There is a world of difference between reacting and responding. A reaction is instant. It comes from impulse, from raw emotion, from the survival part of the brain that wants to strike back, defend, or escape. A response, however, is deliberate. It comes from thought, from clarity, from wisdom. And the choice between the two can decide whether you lose your peace or protect it. When something happens, a harsh word, an unfair situation, an unexpected setback, the natural urge is to react, to snap back, to raise your voice, to prove your point. But a reaction often adds fuel to the fire. It escalates conflict, it creates more chaos, and it rarely leaves you feeling calm afterward. That's because a reaction is about the moment. It satisfies a short term impulse, but it often creates long term consequences. A response, on the other hand, is intentional. It is not about winning an argument or proving yourself right. It is about staying aligned with your values, your peace, and your bigger picture. A response asks, what outcome do I truly want here? How can I act in a way that protects my energy instead of draining it? It is measured, thoughtful, and powerful. Think of it this way: a reaction is like throwing gasoline on a spark. It explodes instantly. A response is like pouring water. It calms the flame before it grows. One is born from impulse, the other from wisdom. One steals your peace, the other strengthens it. Choosing response over reaction doesn't mean you stay silent in every situation. It means when you do speak or act, you do it with purpose. You're not driven by anger, ego, or pride. You're driven by clarity. This is how you transform conflict into understanding, chaos into calm, and tension into resolution. Your energy is your life force. It is the fuel that powers your thoughts, your actions, your dreams, and your peace of mind. Yet, so many people give their energy away carelessly to arguments, to negativity, to distractions, to people who do not deserve that power. If you want to own your peace, you must learn the discipline of guarding your energy. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every conversation deserves your voice. When you allow yourself to be drained by every small problem, every toxic person, every unnecessary conflict, you weaken your ability to focus on what truly matters. Guarding your energy means setting boundaries, not because you don't care, but because you care about your peace too much to waste it. Think about it. How often have you walked away from a pointless argument, feeling exhausted, restless, unable to concentrate? That is the cost of unguarded energy. Energy spent on negativity cannot be used for growth, for creativity, for building the life you want. When you let someone's drama consume you, you hand them the keys to your inner world. But when you guard your energy, you choose wisely where your attention goes. Guarding your energy is not about avoiding responsibility. It's about being intentional. It's about saying, this is worth my time, this is not. This person uplifts me, this one drains me. This fight is meaningful, this one is useless. It is a conscious choice to invest in peace, in growth, in people, and situations that add value to your life. When you protect your energy, you stop scattering your strength everywhere. You stop being reactive to everything outside you. Instead, you become centered, focused, powerful. You preserve your peace, not because life is always calm, but because you refuse to give your power away so cheaply. True strength is not measured by how loud you can shout, how quickly you can argue back, or how forcefully you can impose yourself on others. Real strength is silent. It lives within you. It is the unshakable calm in the middle of chaos, the steady voice of reason when everything around you screams for reaction. To own your peace, you must build inner strength, because without it, the world will easily pull you into battles that don't deserve your presence. Inner strength begins with self-mastery. It is the ability to say, I control me. I do not control the world, but I control my choices, my words, my emotions. When life throws insults, challenges, and frustrations your way, inner strength is what allows you to stand firm without being broken. It's what helps you breathe through anger, stay patient in delay, and keep moving forward when everything feels heavy. Building inner strength is like building a muscle. It takes time, repetition, and resistance. Every challenge you face, every test of patience, every moment when you choose calm instead of chaos, you are training yourself. You are making yourself stronger. The world will not get easier, but you will get tougher. And that toughness is not coldness, it's resilience. It's knowing that no matter what happens outside, you will not be shaken inside. Inner strength also means refusing to be controlled by ego. It means realizing that you don't need to prove yourself in every argument. You don't need to answer every insult. And you don't need to fight every battle. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away. Sometimes the greatest display of power is silence. When you build inner strength, you stop being at the mercy of circumstances. You stop letting people decide how you feel. You become like a mountain, unmoved by the winds of negativity, unshaken by the storms of life. And in that steadiness, you find your greatest weapon, peace. Oh, often, people believe peace is something that others must give them. They say, I'll be calm when people stop provoking me. I'll be happy when life stops testing me. I'll find peace when the world treats me fairly. But waiting for peace to come from the outside is the greatest mistake you can make. Because peace is not given, it is created. It is not handed to you by others, it is built by you. Your peace is your responsibility and no one else's. The truth is, the world will never stop being loud. People will always have opinions, some kind and some cruel. Circumstances will rise and fall, bringing moments of joy and moments of pain. If your peace depends on everything outside, you being perfect, you will spend your life restless, frustrated and broken. But when you take ownership, when you decide, I am responsible for protecting my peace, no matter what, you reclaim power that cannot be stolen. Taking responsibility for your peace means you stop blaming others for how you feel. It means you no longer say, they ruined my day, or that situation destroyed my mood. Instead, you ask yourself, what can I do right now to protect my calm? How can I respond in a way that honors my peace? This shift is powerful because it turns you from a victim of circumstances into the master of your own inner world. Your peace is not in the hands of your boss, your family, your friends, or even strangers. It is in your hands. And every time you choose patience over anger, silence over conflict, clarity over confusion, you are exercising that responsibility. No one else can do this work for you. You decide what you allow in, what you release, and what you guard. When you make peace your responsibility, you stop waiting for life to be calm in order to feel calm. You carry calmness within you, even in storms. And that is a freedom no one can take away.